Have you ever imagined that a single kiss could bring down an entire empire in 24 hours? The shocking kiss cam incident at the Coldplay concert sent Andy Byron, CEO of Astronomer, a company worth $13 billion, plummeting from the pinnacle of power to the depths of scandal. But what truly haunts people isn't the kiss itself. It's the name that never surfaced throughout the entire drama. Meghan Kerrigan, Byron Andy's wife. What did she do? And where is she amidst the media storm? Stay with me, because the silence of Meghan Kerrigan Byron may be the loudest truth in this entire story. The $1.3 billion kiss cam, a moment that shook the tech world. On the night of the 16th of July, Gillette Stadium in Boston was filled with tens of thousands of fans enjoying the Coldplay concert. But amid the stage lights and the roaring crowd, a camera accidentally captured something no powerful figure wanted to face: a scandal. On the giant screen, Andy Byron, CEO of Astronomer, a $1.3 billion tech unicorn, was seen embracing a woman. The intimate gesture quickly turned awkward as both realized they were being filmed. Andy Byron is no stranger to the US tech scene. Having previously led companies like SignalFX, Byron is known for his decisive, calm leadership style, the epitome of the new CEO archetype in the AI wave. He holds degrees from prestigious universities, is a family man, and is often mentioned in tech podcasts as a strategic mastermind. Astronomer, the company he leads, is a rising star in the field of data and AI, having successfully raised capital from Salesforce Ventures, Insight Partners, and others. However, that perfect image proved to be a double-edged sword when the scandal broke. The woman next to Andy is none other than Kristen Cabot, Chief People Officer, CPO, of Astronomer. Considered one of the top female HR leaders, Cabot has an equally impressive resume. She has worked at major corporations and has a network of experienced HR professionals. They are not just colleagues, they are a strategic duo in building company culture. And this is what made the clip even more controversial. Chris Martin, the lead singer of Coldplay, even joked from the stage, "Are they cheating or just extremely shy?" The online community identified the two individuals within minutes. And what was even more shocking, Andy Byron was already married. A personal matter, seemingly private, turned into a media crisis. In the social media era, a CEO's personal image is their brand asset. People no longer just buy products, they buy into the leadership. Just a camera angle, an unintended gesture, and $1.3 billion can be shaken. This is no longer a private matter. This is the story of an era where personal reputation, especially for tech leaders, is not only built on talent, but also on awareness in front of the camera. But the real shock? It wasn't just who he kissed, it was who he betrayed. The missing wife, Meghan Kerrigan Byron, and the $70 million. Silence. But behind that explosive moment, another story, quieter, more painful, began. Meghan Kerrigan Byron, 50, an educator, mother of two, and the woman who once stood by that man's side, had disappeared. She quietly removed the Byron from her name on social media. She locked all her accounts. No status updates. No words of blame. Only emptiness, leaving countless questions hanging in the air. Is she okay? What will she do next? Then, a post appeared on a Facebook account under her name. Although it has not been verified as authentic, its content left millions of hearts in knots. I felt so alone, like no one was on my side. But then you all came. The love you've shown me is something I never expected. I'm trying to stay calm. I'm not ready to speak out, at least not yet. Previously, Meghan had shared warm moments with her husband and two children, but now all of those posts have disappeared. In the midst of this silence, the online community has poured out their hearts for her, a woman who didn't scream, cry, or complain. She simply stepped back at the right moment, with the dignity of someone who once loved deeply. Some sources have also circulated an alleged apology letter from Andy himself. "I apologize to my wife, my family, and the Astronomer team. You deserve better from me as a partner, a father, and a leader. But can those words heal what has been broken? But Meghan Kerrigan Byron is not just the wife of a billionaire CEO. Before her name was caught up in a media storm, Meghan was a woman with a career, steady, dedicated, and quietly shining in her own way. She is the vice president of elementary admissions and the Hope Graham program at Bancroft School, a prestigious private school in Massachusetts known for its educational programs for children with dyslexia, language disorders, and special learning needs. In this role, Meghan is not just an admissions manager. She is a guide helping hundreds of families find the right path for children labeled by society as different. She does not stand on a podium or speak on television, but every day she helps open doors for disadvantaged children, a job that requires patience, empathy, and impeccable organizational skills. Amidst application forms, psychological evaluations, and hundreds of conversations with parents, Meghan Kerrigan Byron chose to be a healer, not a star. She doesn't need cameras or applause. Her work is more sustainable than anything else, restoring faith in the future for children who have been rejected. And perhaps that is what shaped Meghan into the woman she is today, a woman who, despite being publicly betrayed, knows how to hold herself together. For when one is accustomed to quietly fighting for others, one learns to rise, also in silence, but with more resilience than anyone else. Inside the $15 billion empire, the mysterious heiress behind the Astronomer CEO scandal. While the world watches CEO Andy Byron with judgmental eyes, few notice the woman appearing beside him in the kiss cam video, Kristen Cabot, is no ordinary figure. Behind the name Cabot lies a family that has dominated Boston with money, influence, and power for centuries. Kristen was married to Andrew Cabot, the sixth generation of the family that runs the famous Privateer rum brand. Privateer is not just a craft rum company, it is a legacy distilled from over 200 years of history. And Andrew? He is a descendant of one of the richest families in Boston. The Cabot family belonged to the Boston Brahmins, the true aristocracy of the United States, likened to European dynasties. According to the New York Times, in 1972, the family's fortune reached $200 million, equivalent to approximately $15.4 billion today. Starting with the production of pitch, a key raw material in the tire industry, and expanding into 19th century maritime trade, the Cabot empire didn't stop at industry. They invested in education, healthcare, and the intellectual pillars of the United States, Harvard, Michigan Tea, and the Perkins School for the Blind. Kristen, according to her LinkedIn profile, served as a strategic advisor to Privateer Rum since 2020. Earlier this year, she and Andrew purchased a $2.2 million beachfront mansion in New Hampshire. From the outside, their life appears to be the perfect picture of old money, discreet, elegant, and far removed from scandal. And that is precisely why this scandal has become so shocking. Because this is not just an affair. This is a media shockwave, where a female executive from one of America's most prominent families has been suddenly thrust into the spotlight along with the collapse of her entire facade of perfection, all because of a single slow-motion camera shot. As the world turns its attention to Andy Byron, perhaps the real question lies in what happens when scandal collides with legacy. And when an entire family worth tens of billions of dollars is dragged into the eye of a social media storm, no one is immune to the power of a zoom in from a giant LED screen. Andy Byron, billionaire CEO and unintended fame. Before the scandal, the name Andy Byron was only familiar within tech circles. A quiet growth expert, he wasn't the flashy CEO type, didn't tweet like Elon Musk, and certainly didn't livestream like Zuckerberg. Graduating from Providence College, Byron's career was a journey of conquering every gold mine in the data technology sector. He led Fooz to increase revenue from $20 million to $100 million, a leap that industry insiders dubbed rocket speed. At Cyberazon, Lacework, BMC, he has always been the go-to person when the company wants to break through and grow. In July 2023, Andy Byron officially became CEO of Astronomer, a unicorn in the field of data processing and AI coordination. Under his leadership, Astronomer raised hundreds of millions of dollars in funding, expanded its product line, and entered the ranks of the leading startups of the AI era. Behind his quiet demeanor lies a private family in New York. Byron lives with his wife, Megan Kerrigan Byron, and their 2 children. No press conferences, no personal podcasts, no Instagram posts. His social media is solely for updating. Investment deals. Regarding his net worth, no one knows for sure. But as CEO of a company valued at $1.3 billion, experts estimate Byron owns between 1% to 5% of the company's shares, not including stock options and bonuses, bringing his total net worth to between $20 and $70 million. An impressive figure, but all the public is talking about now is a hug on the kiss cam. Astronomer the plumber behind the trillion-dollar AI era. As the kiss cam scandal rocked CEO Andy Byron, another name unexpectedly shone brightly like never before. Astronomer, the $1.3 billion tech unicorn that had remained relatively low-key, now suddenly at the center of global attention. Founded in 2018 and headquartered in New York, Astronomer isn't a flashy app, doesn't sell products, doesn't live stream, and doesn't go big like consumer startups. Instead, they operate quietly like the plumber geniuses of the global data economy, where data becomes the fuel for AI. In the age of AI dominance, data is the lifeblood. But like crude oil, raw data is worthless. It needs to be collected, cleaned, transformed, and delivered to the right place at the right time so AI can run smoothly. This is where astronomers come in. They provide a data orchestration platform, data coordination, that helps businesses handle this extremely complex workflow automatically and with pinpoint accuracy. At the heart of Astronomer is Astro, a data ops platform built on Apache Airflow, the open-source software that took the world by storm. But instead of forcing engineers to plumber the pipes every day, Astronomer offers a commercialized, powerful, and easy-to-operate version, enabling large companies to shift from data headaches to focusing on innovation and strategy. A golden agreement with Amazon and a strategic position in the AI ecosystem. In July, Astronomer signed a strategic partnership agreement with Amazon Web Services, AWS, a mega deal that makes Astronomer a core part of the global data supply chain. From Redshift to EMR to S3, all core AWS products are now deeply integrated with Astronomer's platform. This not only expands customers' capabilities for managing data in the cloud, but also positions Astronomer at the center of the AI storm, sweeping the entire economy into the vortex of automation. Astronomer don't sell AI. They don't write algorithms to create artificial intelligence. But without them, AI couldn't exist. They are the pipeline, the fuel, the people keeping the entire system running smoothly behind the scenes. And that's the fascinating paradox. A company that once lived in the shadows of data is now stepping into the spotlight thanks to an unintended scandal. Astronomer CEO resigns, a kiss that toppled a tech titan. By the 20th of July, the scandal reached its peak. Andy Byron officially stepped down as CEO. The company confirmed his resignation, stating that Andy Byron has submitted his resignation and the board has accepted. Pete DeJoy, co-founder and chief product officer, was immediately appointed as interim CEO as the board began a search for a permanent replacement. Astronomer's official statement was as direct as it was sobering. Our public perception shifted overnight, but our mission in AI and data orchestration continues. Andy Byron isn't the first to lose everything over an inappropriate workplace relationship. In 2024, Australian billionaire Richard White, CEO of WiseTech Global, was ousted over a similar scandal. In 2018, Intel CEO Brian Krzanich resigned after violating the company's code of conduct due to a past relationship with a subordinate. Even Boeing's former CEO, Harry Stonecipher, watched both his career and family unravel in 2005 due to a workplace affair. According to Johnny C. Taylor Jr., CEO of the Society for Human Resource Management, SHRM, many companies today adopt a strict zero-tolerance policy regarding executive-employee relationships. As workplace cultures shift toward transparency and accountability, personal misconduct is increasingly seen as a strategic liability. This isn't just about bad optics. It's about the key person risk that CEOs now pose in the age of social media. Andy Byron was more than a CEO. He was Astronomer's public face, strategic architect, and key to investor confidence. When a scandal involves both the CEO and the chief people officer, tasked with upholding company culture, it strikes at the heart of internal trust. In today's world, CEOs don't just lead, they represent the brand, and one moment of misjudgment can collapse years of credibility. Netizens are up in arms. LinkedIn has never been this loud. When the kiss cam video of CEO Andy Byron and CPO Kristen Cabot went viral, social media exploded in the truest sense of the word. But what was even more surprising was that a place as discreet as LinkedIn became a meme battlefield. On Facebook and X, thousands of people spoke out in support of Megan Kerrigan Byron, the wife who quietly disappeared after the scandal. One person wrote, "Finding out your husband is cheating on you through social media is awful." Another wrote tearfully, "I hope she is surrounded by love and support to get through this." Words of encouragement and sympathy quietly formed a wall of emotion in support of the woman who did not speak up, but made the whole world listen. At the same time, a wave of criticism against Andy Byron and Kristen Cabot erupted. One netizen sarcastically wrote, "Bringing your lover to a concert with cameras is an IQ negative move. I really feel sorry for his wife." Then, as with all modern scandals, the internet quickly shifted to content creation. A shop on Etsy immediately released a sweatshirt with the words, "I took my side piece to the Coldplay concert and it ruined my life." Even Ry Walker, the former CEO of Astronomer, joined in on the fun. He did not condemn or share his moral views. Instead, he posted only one hashtag, #ColdplayGate, and that was enough to become a living meme. That's not all. A man with the same name, Andy Byron, suddenly became an unwilling celebrity. He immediately posted a clarification on LinkedIn with an extremely clever description. Not the guy in the Coldplay incident, then took the opportunity to promote his personal video services. His post received an enormous amount of engagement, proving that in the age of the internet, someone else's scandal can be your marketing campaign if you know how to seize the moment. Projecting the worst moment, when shame is suddenly exposed. It's not the guilt that comes first, it's the fear and paralysis of shame. According to family therapist Kate Campbell, when an affair is exposed, as in the case of the CEO of Astronomer, the initial reaction is overwhelming embarrassment, not genuine remorse. If the betrayed partner chooses to publicly share every detail on social media to vent their anger, the betrayer quickly falls into a cycle of self-punishment. They panic and realize, "I'm not this kind of person." Campbell warns that shame can be the thing that destroys any chance of healing. A selective apology can save a marriage. According to psychological guidelines, the first step to rebuilding trust is not to recount the details, it is to offer a short, sincere apology. No grand gestures, no lengthy explanations. If there is still a desire to salvage the relationship, the person responsible for the affair should clearly state, "I want to try to repair this," but should not expect immediate forgiveness. On the other hand, if there is no way forward, then they should choose to part ways in a civilized manner, with minimal respect and avoiding any public shaming. Campbell points out that selective silence and a simple, "I'm sorry, I was wrong," can sometimes be more powerful than long explanations. Rushing to reveal every mistake only deepens the pain and makes trust nearly impossible to rebuild. Robert C. Desmoulins, an infidelity investigator, warns that the more the betrayed partner knows, the more they are hurt, which can be the second chance breaker. Today's leaders, in an age where anyone can be exposed by a single video clip, must recognize that no one is immune to embarrassment, but how they respond afterward determines the rest of the story. Choosing to remain silent in the right way, apologizing sincerely, and setting civilized boundaries in a breakup, these are not just ways to protect one's image, but the final cut actions to preserve dignity, even rebuild trust, or, if necessary, to leave while retaining some measure of final power. How does it feel to think that a single kiss could bring down a multi-billion-dollar empire? Leave your thoughts in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. And if you think Megan Kerrigan Byron's story, The Silent Wife, amid the media storm, is worthy of more exposure, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Because sometimes, silence can be more revealing than any words.